Hello, this is Dimitri with Ukidz LLC, UGears US. We're going to be assembling Book of Secrets today. Sorry, I haven't been on this channel for quite some time, trying to bring it back, trying to revive it. I did a couple assemblies, smaller ones. Videos should be posted already, but do need to come back to start assembling more models, and this is going to be very interesting. Kind of looking forward to it. It's a 263-piece Book of Secrets, so it's a combination of treasure box and a safe in one. So you got a little secrets there, and you got combination lock, so it's all nice and perfect. I just wanted to do a shout out to a cute little shop with Kareem there, and he's very excited about this model, so talked about it a lot. So here I am, assembling it as promised. So let's do the box opening. As you can see, there's some new box format. This is a very eco-friendly design. There's barely any plastic in here, or I should say almost none at all, non-existent. So let's see, we have some dark wood. We're gonna put the box aside. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 boards in here. I'm gonna put them also to my, well, actually to my right. We do have instruction booklet, and we do have a little envelope. As I said, as you can see, there's no plastic in here, so it should be nice and perfect. Inside here we have a little spring, we have a sandpaper, we got piece of wax. This may not be enough, so I do recommend to go out and get tea candle wax. Here I have some on my side here. Let me dig it in. All the stuff is going down. So they look like this. This is the wax that I personally prefer. My favorite, because it's very soft, so easy to apply to the wood. Book of Secrets instructions. As always, we have some warnings, some information. Next page, on page number 3, we do have, you gotta have some symbols that you need to use. Got pay attention, sanding required, waxing required, make sure that mechanical components are working operational. Some of the extra pieces that possibly could break during the assembly, they're listed on here, and they are marked on the boards with a plus sign. And then we got the little helping tool to push the parts out, to get the burrs out, and pretty much to help you put the parts in place. Let me just double check. The timer is running, so we're all good. And that helping tool is located on board number 5. So the boards, they do have marking in the corners. 1, here's 2. So I'm gonna go straight to 5, and I'm gonna get that little tool bottom right out. So it's gonna help me in my assembly. All right, so that's with the introductions, and we're gonna go and start the assembly on page number 4. The only thing I want to mention, I know I've mentioned it before numerous times in the video, there's a back of the board, there's a front of the board. Usually the front, you can read the numbers normally, they're gonna be backwards on the back. So normally I push the parts out from the front towards the back. Sometimes if there is a part within a part, you may have to go the other direction. But I wanna say about 95–99% of them are front to back. So you greatly reduce the amount of burrs that are on there. Any parts that you see have or possibly could have moving components, I recommend to sand them. I do have a sandpaper. I also do have a small file here, just in case. Sometimes if it's a larger piece, the knife would be good. And once again, waxing is essential. All right, need to make sure I don't lose that spring. And we're going to start with the assembly. Page number 4, step number 1. We're on board number 1, which is that dark board on top. And we have parts number 1 and part number 2. So part number 1, kind of hard to see on here. So it's looks like this is 3, 1 is on the bottom here. And part number 2 is these dark piece right above the center line on the right hand side. So part number 2, and then part number 1 is that big piece right here. So now, as I mentioned before, if there's a parts within a parts, you may want to do from the other end. And it's just because when you push it out, the burr will stay on the, or the piece of wood will stay, if it splits, it's going to stay on a larger piece or the piece that you're pushing from, versus if you do the other way, it's going to stay on the part. Here we have these little components. So the parts inside could be pushed out from front to back, but because it's on a larger piece, you want that piece to come out from the back towards the front, just to make sure you don't leave any burrs. And if anything is going to get removed, it's going to remove from that unused piece. So I'm going to do those larger pieces from the back, put them aside. Plus, you get to keep the part number on there, so you're not going to get confused a little bit down the assembly, you know, when you're looking for a part and you can't figure out where it's at. Let's see. This piece stays here, so I don't need to push it out. Wanted to make sure. All right, so we need to wax everything inside of here, and we just grab that stick, go all around and wax, give it a nice good wax on every single circular surface that you see that you can get the wax in. Nice, which obviously gives you the indication that is the moving component. And then we put part number 2. There's round off corners that's going to go towards the bottom, and you inserted opening is towards the top. So you see like a little, kind of like on a picture, hard to show it on a camera probably. So the opening is below the part number 1. All right, and that's going to be our, let's see, to make sure it's completely in there, that's going to be our part A1. I'm going to put it aside. And then step number 1 on the bottom, we take part number 3. Same scenario, so it's a larger piece. We pull it out, it's the top of the board. And then all the smaller components, if they're within another piece, we're pushing from the back. Kind of like larger and smaller. Put them aside because you will use them. It's almost a guarantee. Need to make sure that I do get the parts out. So if you see some thin pieces, just make sure you hold both of them, so to make sure you don't snap it, like a thin little parts, to get them out. Let's see, here's 5, 6. So I think I got everything. And the same scenario, pretty much every single round piece on here, we do need waxing. So just apply the pressure. I'm gonna go all around. I'm gonna go into all the pieces just to be on the safe side, because I don't know how the final product, I mean, I know how the final product will look like, but I haven't assembled one yet. All right, so here we need part number 3 and 4, but part number 4 was right below part number 2, I think. Yep, that's it. Pull it out and we insert it. Let's see, so this is going to be these tabs to the left of you, the larger opening where the part number 4 is going to go towards the bottom, just to make sure that it's not this way. That's the double opening here. And then part number 4 goes in here. You slide it in and then push it towards you just to lock it in place. There you go, just like this, with the opening on the bottom. And that's our A2. That piece is falling out a little bit, so I'm going to carefully put it on the side. Moving on to page number 5. And here we're going to take A2, the one that's step number 1. And A1, and these two is gonna go together. So these little tab right here, we insert part number 1 in there. Hold on, let me so this the part 2 that we had assembled, it's gonna be towards the top. So that's gonna go into this hole right here, and then this tab's gonna go through this little hole. So we kind of join these two together. Insert here. And then insert here. So kind of little combination. So these two tabs are holding these A1 and A2 together. Step number 2, we need parts number 5, 2 of them, and 2 parts number 6. So those are on board number 1 also. Let's find them. Let's see, approximately we know how they're supposed to look like. They're not on here. So here's 5 and 6, and 5 and 6 on this larger piece. So this little small one, 2 5s. And as you can see on the manual, it does say step 1, step 2 of step 2. So let's see, the first part number 5 goes in here, all the way through, I guess. And second one goes on the bottom. And I'm inserting them as far as I can go. Let me clean off that burr a little bit here. And it's supposed to stick out a little bit, my understanding, a little bit on the other end. So we'll see. And then part number 2, step number 2 of step number 2 is the part number 6 that's going to lock these pieces in place. So here's number 6, and where's my second 6 is right here. So 2 of these. Checking, make sure the video is still running, because I haven't recorded in a while, so I just want to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. And let's see, so this, the one on the bottom piece, we're gonna insert number 6 from, I guess, from the right side, as you're looking at that board. And then the top piece, it's gonna go from the longer side. Just like this, lock it in place. And then step number 3, would be parts number 7, 3 of them, part number 8, and part number 9. So all of those are on board number 2. Shows on the bottom left here on the bottom corner. So steps number 7, 1, 2, 1 additional, 3. Part number 8 is top left here. Little thinner piece, and also you can use the helping tool to get those out. And then part number 9 is going to be on the same board right above the center line here. There are 2 of them, they're smaller, so I'm going to use the helping tool to kind of help me push it out. I'll put the board aside right now. All right, so with the splits, the little split towards the top, we can insert these part number 7 through 3 locations. I'm assuming this should approximately go the same distance, which is all the way down to the tab. So if it doesn't go through, there's 2 things you can do. First, just do like a little run with the file or sandpaper. That's one. And then the second, just a little bit of wax, and that will help it push it all the way through to wherever you need with ease. So once again, just run with the sandpaper, or see, that one's gonna go bottom left here, and wax a little bit so it's tougher. Like for me, just the sandpaper is a little tougher. I put a little wax on both sides, and it just goes through all the way as far as it can go. Then part number 8, that's a longer piece, gonna go in a hole here, and part number 9 in a hole right at the center. So part number 8, don't have to do as far as it can go with the longer piece towards the bottom. And part number 9, doesn't matter which way, but it's, I mean, it matters which way, up or down, doesn't matter, but it has to go, so the slot or slit is in a horizontal direction, or facing the horizontal direction, this way. And we insert it right in the middle hole here. That is done. And we flip it 180 degrees. Or not yet. Yes, we need to be flipping it 180 degrees. That's step 4, which will clearly show it on the other side. So we just flip it, turn it around. And step number 5 on page number 6 are, we need more part number 9. One of them. Let's see, part number 9. I'm gonna go clockwise. Part number 9, and with the slots going in the shorter direction too. And it's gonna go top corner here, I mean top hole right here. And if it doesn't, fingers don't let you put it all the way in, I use the tool and just push it as far as it can go. A little careful on that. 2 number 8s, which are to the left here on board number 2. 1 and 2. Tool. Where's my tool? Number 8 is gonna go, once again, look at the directionality and the taller piece, taller side of the tab going towards the top or towards you. So one goes into this hole right here as far as it can go. The other one is the same way, goes right next to it. Same thing with a slit this way. And part number 10 is going to go into a hole right here. Just need to find that part number 10, top right corner. And that one's going to go with a slit this way. As far as it can go. Now, next step, 6, we need part number 11 and 12. So 11 is on board number 1, top right corner here. There are 2 of them. And that one, we have steps 1, 2, and 3 within the step. So with a little tab, we need to push it through here. But I'm gonna wax all the surfaces around here as it shows. And then you insert it into the hole here. Second step is through that tab. And third step, we're gonna do part number 12, which is on board number 2, top right. And it has the words loop C and D. All right, some letters. So let's see, we need to wax the little pieces here sticking out, and then within the little circle here, opening. And then I think as far as the letters, they should be facing towards the bottom. We're gonna insert it, or not insert it, just put it in here. Join it with part number 11. And it should be moving up and down here. just because it's moving up and down on the surface, I would put a little bit of wax on the flat surface, just to be on the safe side on both sides. So that way, because it's going to be moving against the flat surface here, so you want a little bit of a frictionless. So that's going to be A3. We're going to put it aside. Step number 1 on the bottom of the page, we need parts number 13, 14, 15, and 17 from board number 1. So 14, 13 are in the bottom here. 14, doing in sequence, so it's 13, 14. Let's see, 15 is on this piece, and then 17 is going to be also on that standalone. And because we removed it, you want to from another part, you want to get rid of these burrs on the circular pieces especially, and these need to be waxed around. So that's kind of like also an indicator that you want to use a little bit of a sandpaper on the side. And then you need parts number 16 and 18. They're on board number 2. Let's see, 18 is right at the center here, and 16 at the bottom, right at the center. A little to the right of the center, I guess. So we're removing these pieces. Make sure there's no burrs inside. There's that helping tool, you can take it out. Or sandpaper. All right. And we also wax these gears all around. And that's when the tea candle comes very handy, because you can just dip it inside there. That's the way I used to do it. So there's a good example. You just rotate it and dip it as you go. It will get enough of the wax on here for that to be smooth. So let's see, part number 13, join it with the 14, crisscross, go through number 15, and I would put a little bit of a sanding and waxing on these two parts. That way, part number 15 will slide right in. As far as it can go, all the way to the ends. Let me remove that piece of wax here. Then part number 16, which is going to go over that 15, right? The gear, so it's on kind of like a bearing. Then we put number 17 on, locking that one in place, and part number 18 to lock it up. Step number 2, let me clean up the wax here a little bit, all that extra wax. So that's gonna go, I'm gonna put aside right now. Step number 2, we got parts number 19 and 20. 19 board number 2, a little below the center line. Can get that out, and 20 is right below it. And let's see, we need to wax this little tab here. Now, for, let's see, this way, that's this longer piece down towards you, and the sub-assembly is going to go through 2 of these holes. So we're going to go through part number 19, smaller part first. Let me make sure that, here we go. And then part number 22nd. There you go. And make sure both of these are spinning. And now step number 3, we need part number 21, which is also on board number 2. It's all the way at the top right. It's got a little book on here. So here we need to wax, and the book's gonna go towards you and a key. We need to wax this side. There's a little burr here, so I'm gonna remove it. And you need to wax this teeth on the other side. So that side right here, teeth. And probably because it's going to be moving on the surface, I'll wax the surface a little bit. Don't apply too much so it's not like visible, but better be safe than sorry. So we insert this in between that wheel and right here. So it just slides up and down, and work it in a little bit. Make sure it goes in and out. Up and down, just like this. So all moving against that little tab here. These are spinning. We're done with page number 6. Moving on to the page number 7. We're gonna put that part aside. I guess it's A4. And step number 1 on page number 7 would be parts 26, 25. All right, let's remove the dark ones again. So 25, that's the larger piece right here. 26, let's see, we don't have any dark ones. So 26 is on board number 2. Top, to the left a little bit of the center line. We're gonna have part number 26, 25, and then 22, 23. 20 right at the center, a little bit halfway in the middle. And so I'm going to use the tool right there and push these out. 22, 23, and then we need 2 parts number 24, which are right here to the left. 1 and 2. So these guys, not to lose them. Once again, check for the burrs. Remove, if any, in between the gears. Let's see on the other one too. Here you go. And then wax, 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 wax. Let me use my secret tool. And then larger pieces. All right. And then the circular ones, the burrs, should be inside the grooves, so it should be fine. So I just need to wax these a little bit all around. And kind of similar situation, 23 into 22, so 22 on top. These go from opposite ends, and let's see, 2 parts number 24 go from the bottom. Put a little bit of wax on there, so just to make sure that we can easily get those on. Or somewhat easy. Let's see. There's one. And the second one. All the way. And then part number 25 on the top. From the top. All the way as far as it can go, and part number 26 on top of it. There you go. And now we have a little piece that should look like A5 on the picture. Next step 1, can put that wax back inside. the second one, and then there's a third one. To assemble piece A6, we need 2 parts number 24, same location. 27 and 28 are right next to it. And same thing, I'm gonna wax, sand and wax a little bit on the sides here to remove any burrs and grooves, or burrs, I should say, not grooves. Put a little bit of a wax on these sides. 28 and 27, they go into each other, not from opposite ends, but the same end, and 124 from one end. I'm gonna start with the longer one and insert it all the way down, and then the other 24 is from the second end, or the shorter end. Same thing, make sure it's all the way in. So we got a piece A6 just like this. Coming back to our main assembly, step number 1. And we put A5, previously assembled, let's see, into the opening right here. A6 into this little hole right here with the longer tab down. And then sub-assembly A4 needs to go this way over these. So this should be the other way around. There we go. These two will go through the hole here and here. So we insert it, and then two of your gears engaging. So you need to make sure that happens. Let's see. Alright, these are engaged, these are engaged, these are engaged. I had one piece fall out, so I'm just going to turn it around and reinsert it again. As far as it can go. This one's in, so these two are engaged, the gears. Looks like I'm going to have to clean up some of these gears a little bit because I got too much wax on them. That's where the toothpicks will come in handy, which I don't have here or in this kit. But I'll have to come back with a little toothpick and just get it cleaned off from the wax to make it look a little bit nicer than what it is. All right, so that's our parts joined together. And then looks like step number 3, we're locking that with part number 29, which is on board number 1. Part number 29 on the bottom here, with that larger opening away from you, and that goes into the slot here, and then you push it, well, in this case towards myself, just to lock it in place right here. So it locks these two pieces together also. All right, that's step number 3, 2 and 3. Moving on to page number 8. On page number 8, we need 2 parts number 30. That's step 4. They're on board number 2. And let's see, 30, 30, 30. They're on the right hand side here towards the top. There's 2 on top and 2 below. Let's see, in and out, work it in, work it out. use the helping tool to get it out. And these gonna lock this piece right here and this piece right here. So this one's from the top and this one's from the right side. Just like this. They're locked. And now for step number, we're done with this. It says flip it 180 degrees. Put it aside for a split second. Step number 5, we need 2 parts 31. They are a little bit above the center line on the left here. Got these 2, and let's see, we need parts number 32 and 33. My assumption they're on this piece right here, so no, that's 40. They are on board number 1 to the left here, so they're still on the board. Get these 2 out. Now we need to wax it all around, so I'd go a little bit with the file and all around, wax it. It's better be generous on the wax and then clean it up, and then have it not enough and then create all kinds of friction, because sometimes there's multiple components moving around, and that will can get the parts stuck. So there's like a little shoulder, so that shoulder goes towards the outside of the circle. Now we go part number 32 first, and then part number 33 second. And I guess as far as it can go. Oops, helping tool, helping tool, helping tool. It's supposed to go all the way down. I'll put a little bit of wax on here too, at least on the second one. First one didn't do it. Probably gonna have to come back to it to reapply. And push it all the way in. This one, I'm not sure if I can get it out. There's not, I can push it in all the way. All right, so these are 2 locked together, and then we're going back to the board, and it goes into this hole right here. Let's see, with the tab parts towards the top, and we see a little. So we need to put with the little tabs towards the right and left, just like this, all the way in. All right, next step 2. Gonna put the board for a split second again to the side, clean out the room here. Parts number 34, 35, they're dark, so they're on here. Let's see, this is 34. That's going to be the first one. Need to wax it. Once again, make sure it's every single tooth, or most of them at least, just to prevent friction as much as possible. That's gonna go, looks like, where is it gonna go? Over these 2 little tabs. So you got little hooks here. And make sure it engages with the gears, right? Mm-hmm. You may want to fiddle a little bit with it. All right, I guess the one side goes easy, the other one is not as easy. So rotate it around, should go in. Vertical. I'll do it the other way again. So these are vertical. This one, there is one way it can go in, and at the same time we need to make sure that it engages with the gears. No, not this way. Doesn't fit this way. Fits easy this way. So this is vertical. I do the gears first. May need to rotate a little. There we go. Now it's these two are in, number 18. And 34 is next, 35. So I'm gonna do 35 as the dark again. Clean out the burrs. And that one goes right here. All the way in till it fits in the circle here. Then next one is 18. That should be on board number 2, a little bit below the center on the right hand side. Same thing, make sure we cover every single gear. And that's gonna go over part number 34, engaging with these two gears. And the last one is part number 36, is on a darker board, one of these pieces. That one we need to sand all around. You can use the file or sandpaper. And apply wax all around. And another thing to watch out for is to make sure that these are facing clockwise direction as shown right here. We'll lock this in place, and then we go H2, also darker place right here. That's a big key. It's gonna go into here. Insert it into the slots of gear number through 18 and gear number 34. Alrighty. Moving on to page number 9. We need to rotate it around. Work it in, work it out. So if we go, fell up. Make sure you hold the gears in place. So these two are engaging. So there's a key. If we go towards counterclockwise. Oh, clockwise. If we go counterclockwise, it will switch eventually to the book. So if we go this way, and then it does say to hold it here so it doesn't fall out. And if we go the other way, key, counterclockwise, book, key, book. All right, keep the key in here. Part number 37, step number 5, clean up. Board number 2, part number 37, a little bit to above the center to the right. As always, all the gears, we need to make sure they're waxed. And then this one goes in between these two gears right here. Same thing, we need to hold it in place with our helping tool. And make sure when we go clockwise, we'll get to the key. I don't know if you can see it or not because I'm holding it. And then when we go, it has to go both ways. When we go the other direction, it's going to be a book. So clockwise, key, and counterclockwise, book. Alrighty, so we're all good. Put it aside. Let's see, step number 7 on page number 9, parts number 38, 39, 40, 26, 24, and 24. So board number 2, bottom of it, our parts are 38 and 39. Get these out. Part number 40 is right at the center to the right. Part number 26 gonna be right here at the center, at closer to the top. And 224s are to the right, bottom left here. Alrighty, so this one, 38 and 39 go into each other. And little sanding in this long tab, all 4 sides, and we're gonna apply a little bit of a wax. Yep. And all around. Then it's gonna go through part number 40 with open close words towards the top, and put it all the way in. There we go. Part number 26. Where would I find 26? 26. I pulled it out already, right? Right here. Oh, we forgot to wax the gears. A little wax here, sanding. Wax the gear. Wax the parts number 24. The 26 goes from the bottom. All the way in. And parts number 24, 2 of them. All the way. All right, next 2 parts number 41, also board number 2, and they're right here. Get the burrs out. Put a little wax on all of them. both of them. And then we go one goes over this tab, part number 41, the other goes over this tab, and this would open close towards the center of the book, just like this. Next step, we're done with page number 9. Moving on to page number 10. Let me make sure that we're still recording. And we're good. Let's see, we're on page number 10, step number 2. Let's see, everything's good. Big part number 42 on board number 2. That's that large piece right here. I'm gonna have to remove all the internal pieces from it. Let's see, this board, put it inside. And carefully remove it because it looks like there's some pretty fragile pieces. $53. Oh, speaking of fragile pieces, if you purchase, as always, from us, we will replace the parts at no charge. If you purchased it elsewhere, mean Amazon or manufacturer will replace the parts too. I try to replace from whatever I have in stock in my warehouse. If I don't have it in stock, I will direct you to the manufacturer, because obviously they have availability for all the parts. Unfortunately, I don't. All right, so got all the pieces, extra pieces out of here, and that goes over this assembly. We need to get the key out and put everything else. All right, so there's a couple points to make sure that this stays, the key is horizontal when you unlocking it. It has the book listed right here, open closes on that side. And so as you put in that part number 42 over, and we're gonna be slowly pushing it all around. Carefully, not to break it. All right, and now key number 43. That's on board number 2, bottom right. That goes for the step number 3, goes into here. And now we do the same thing. It's pretty much, if we go clockwise, it should rotate and switch it over to the key, or counterclockwise, switch it over to the book. All works nice and smooth. Moving on to page number 11. To see where we at. It's more locking mechanism, but just on the other side of the book. Take a little pause, and we'll be back. All right, so we're on page number 11. We're gonna put this one sub-assembly aside. Step number 1, we have parts number 46, 45, and 44. So 46 is a black board. That helping tool I'm gonna put aside. Not sure if it's gonna be helpful later on. So 46 is right here. 45 should be on board number 2. And looks like let's see, 45 is it within this piece right here. And then 44 is also on the same board. Let's see, where could it be? In one of the smaller parts maybe? Yeah, right here. The one that we pulled out. Alrighty. Clean off my wax a little bit to the side. So this one and the gear, we need to wax and sand a little bit. Or a lot. We're recording, so that's a good sign. And let's see this. And I'm gonna do a little bit of wax on the side here, just to make sure that it fits. So it should be upside down with the tab down. First thing is the number 45, and then 46 right on top of it. All right, and we make sure that it's all the way flush. That's part B1. Put it aside. Step number 1 in the middle here. Part B2, we're getting ready to build. We need parts number 24. Let's see, it's on the 24, it's on the board number 2, here closer to the bottom. So 124, 47 and 48, there would be on the little part that we pulled out from board number 2. 47, 48. And then large part number 49. 49 would be on a dark board. So we pull that out. That needs to be waxed all around, and part number 24 needs to be waxed all around. Alrighty. So we wax it. Parts 47, 48. Let's see. Just like this, the tabs down. And a little bit of wax, actually, let's see. Sanding a bit and wax on edges just for easier squeeze. So 24 is gonna go over. And 49 is gonna go over on the other side. All the way in, and it's all ready. Let me get that piece of wax that gets stuck in here off. There we go, nice and pretty. So that's part B2. All right, there you go. All right, so that's B2. Then we need parts number 52 and 51 on board number 2, bottom on the right. That's 50 and 52. And also we need 2 parts number 51. Parts number 51 would be on one of the smaller pieces right here that we pulled out earlier. And those go into board number 50, into here and here. One and two. also part number 53 on board, also one of the pieces, smaller pieces that came out. We're gonna wax it just slightly on the tabs, make sure it's easier to put in. And then the longer piece gonna go closer to the center, that longer tab down into the part number 50. Push it all the way in so it sticks out on the other side a little bit. And then part 52 over these. Let's see. Looks like this, right? So they're a little bit over. All right, just like this. And then we do B1. That's the smaller one with a gear. Goes into this hole right here, the one in the middle. Then we do B2 is gonna go from the bottom into the hole right next to it. And then we're gonna lock it with number 26, which is on that cutout piece that we did before. And obviously we need to wax it. And put it over. All the way in. Make sure it's interconnects with the other piece. Then we do step number 1 is part number 54 on the dark board, black board, brown board. It's gonna go here. I would want to put a little bit of wax on the sides here, just because I see there's going to be a moving component. We do need to wax these little teeth. So instead of trying to squeeze the wax in here, I just put it on the sides of that little tab teeth. And with a smaller set of teeth going towards these two gears, we can insert it like this, make sure it interlocks. And also we're gonna put over the top on here number 55. That's the larger piece right here. Also waxing all the teeth on this. And I would probably put a little bit on the side, just because I know it's gonna go rub against this surface. So we lock it over subassembly B2. And now as we're moving this around, it should go back and forth just like this. 6 times 80 degrees. I'm not sure what that means. So that's a part B3. I mean, we do have the movement, so we'll figure out what that's 6 times 80, but it's definitely maybe 6 degrees, but it cannot go any further because it gets stuck in here. So all right, anyway, moving on to the 6 times 80, that's what I'm seeing. Step number one, I'm gonna put that part aside. Step number one on page 12 is, let's see, nice little sub-assembly. So we need 3 parts number 56. They're in that cutout piece. Push them all out. And also, I'm gonna get out the part number 59 from here. Might as well, since I'm here. Put it in the garbage. Part number 57, also on board number 2. There towards the center bottom. 57, 57, and part number 58, that's a dark gear on board number 1, bottom right. Make sure no burrs in here, take them out. And we're waxing all around on parts number 57. We're waxing the gear 58. And we're waxing part number 59, which is going to be locking part of that little sub-assembly. All right, so first the 56 with these longer, like it's upside down L shape or R, I guess. So with that R point outwards, we're going into the middle. And before we do that, I will do a little bit of ascending. On all 3 parts. Just make sure that we can get it all in. And I'll put a little bit of wax on these 2. That way it's just gonna go nice and smooth into the openings. All right, just like that. Goes in pretty easy once you wax it and sand it a little bit, because it gets rid of all the burrs. Then a gear. All the way in, and then part number 59, just to lock it all in. Just like this. And then we come back to our larger assembly. Let's see, we turn it upside down. Make sure the key is not, you can take it out temporarily. Let's see, all right, so part number B4, the one that we just assembled, goes into here, into this opening, and kind of like underneath. So you get the teeth are engaging with this little long rod. That's a first step. Second step would be putting number 11, which is on board number 1, top right here. Waxing it, let's see, the edges, and in the center here, little opening. Let's see, that goes right here. So we put it over and squeeze it into this opening right here. Just like this. And then another gear, number 41. I'm assuming board number 2 still. We're here towards the bottom, to the right, halfway in between. that goes right here, except I'm gonna remove all the burrs, put a little bit of wax in here. Kind of ran out of the regular wax. I'm resorting to my tea light candle. Goes in here. And let's see. So here's one more thing that you want to make sure that this little piece right here engages let's see, horizontal to one of the teeth. Now we gotta flip it over. We have a book here. That's step number 2 we're on. So I'm gonna use the key and I'm gonna rotate it down to until we get a key. Open close supposed to be in this location, so kind of facing towards the inside. Now flip it back over, and then sub-assembly that we did upside down, kind of like this. So the black piece or brown piece goes up and down, and that engages. By the way, you can scan a QR code. I guess it's going to be zoomed in detail. So this one's going to go over that sub-assembly. Make sure all pieces fit nice and snug. Everything is engaged. So everything is flat. Just make sure it's sitting properly. If it's not, that means the teeth somewhere are not engaged. So you might want to like in my case, a little bit here. Using the helping tool to help myself squeeze it a little bit. All right, so it looks like everything is in. Not really, except this little piece here. All right. So this has to be flat. All the bins or pins should be through. Okay, now locking everything is in place. Checking, making sure that we're still recording. So still the key, so all good. Flip it around, and we're locking all that stuff with part number 60 goes on here, which is bottom left corner of the board number 2. We need to wax it, let's see, all around. Then we got part number 30, also on board number 2. Locking sub-assembly here. And then part number 61 is from one of the pulled out pieces from board number 1. That goes just like this over that sub-assembly. And now we're gonna try to rotate open. Let's see now, 2, 4. Okay, so that's what we checked. So we were on a key from the previous assembly. So we switch it over to the book. And then when we switch it over to the book, that open close, we rotate it towards the open direction until here it says open. The other way it says close. So when you play this one around, so work it in a little bit, in and out, open, closed, open, closed. And then this key is separate. To the right is lock, and to the other one is unlock to the other side. So when it's unlocked in the book position, you can move this, open, close. When it's in a lock position key, you cannot move it. It just rotates the gear a little bit, but there is no movement here. Disengages. Open, close, so everything's working and operational. So that's pretty much the explanation on here. So once again, from this position, from the lock that we installed the previous parts, rotated with the key to the unlock position, which is book. Then when you do open, it will switch right here. Do not force it much, you'll just go back and forth, but when you go to the open position, will say open, and then when you go back to the open close, it says close when it's that facing towards the center. So that's the explanation of that step 1 on page number 13 to the right. Alrighty, putting it aside, we're going on page number 14, moving on to the board. Let's see, board number 2 is almost exhausted. I think we have part number 30 somewhere. Hopefully I didn't miss it anywhere. I see it only 3 locations. Must be an extra. All right, so that one we're gonna put that board aside. We'll come back to it if we need to. Alrighty, let's see. Page number 14, step number 1. We are on board number 3 now. So from board number 3, do not throw any boards out just yet. Board number 3, we have that long part 62 on the side to the left. And parts number 63, they're going to be also on the same top right here, top right corner. We need 4 of them. 1, 2. Don't be afraid to use the helping tool. I'm just used to using my fingers. Careful snapping the connection points just to make sure you don't break the parts. Let's see, so with part number 62, we need to have these 2 tabs towards the top and the openings, these openings to the right. And that's where we insert right in the center here. One more time. There's no slot here, so that goes towards the top, and the slot's going to the right. 2 63s on top. And 2 63s on the bottom here, where the slot is at. Step number 2, we need part number 66, 164, and 265s. They're also on board number 3. So let's see, 65's bottom right, 64 is just right above it, and 66 top right corner. My helping tool here. Blind there for a second. All right, so 66 gonna go from the bottom through this slot hole. 64 right here in the middle, below the middle, I mean at the center line below the middle, all the way in, helping tool. And then 65 is going to be on the side on the bottom holes here. 1 and 2. All right, and then step number 3, still in the same location. We'll do part number 67 and 68. They're right in the middle here, a little bit closer to the top. 67 should be on the bottom. And 67, we need to wax it on the inside here. Gonna go right over that part number 64. And then part number 68 with that slot towards the top is gonna go right over it, just like this. And then we got parts number 69 and 270s. They're at the top here. We do have some spares on the bottom, just to make sure. You can also use knife to pre-cut it. I'm gonna remove it with the extra pieces and just carefully, not to break it, get these off. So we do need to wax these little tabs at the end. Once again, careful, because these look pretty fragile. And just to be on the safe side, I would wax the tabs here, because that's going in. Although that's telling you to wax them here, so it was ahead of the game, I guess. Didn't look further just yet. All right, so 69 goes towards the top. And 70 then goes right here, a little below it. Alrighty, flip it upside down, which was already waxed, so we don't have to do it, and that's our C1. Alrighty, moving on to page number 15, step number 1. We are at still board number 3, and we got parts number 71. That's to the left. Has a rating on it. More fragile parts, so careful. And then 74. Do you need both of these parts? That's 74. That is 71. Then we need 72, 2 of those. Those would be in the middle to the right of the center line. And then 73 to the right of the center line above. All right, so we have couple warnings on there. I would, just to be on the safe side, send the tabs and all. No waxing. So all right, so 71 with the word out. Pull out for password change. Then we have that goes, let's see, part number 72. The longer side, so there's two holes on here. There's a hole that is closer to the edge and a hole that is further from the edge. So the one that's further goes towards you. I'm gonna insert into part number 72. Then we're gonna do this little P71 with the words out to the left of that centerpiece. Make sure it's all the way in. And then 74 with this little slot here away from you goes on the other side. Okay, still recording, which is good. And then we'll lock it up with a 72 on the other end. Just like this. So we have 3 pieces, and that's a part C2. We need to wax these little tabs. Using leftovers of wax, need to cut out a piece from my tea light candle. Alright, so everything is waxed. And then we're moving on to the center of the page. We got C1. We take this sub-assembly. And C2 with the words to the left. This grill goes towards you. That's gonna go into these slots. So there's 2 little slots here and larger slots by parts number 70. Just wiggle it around a little bit, and that goes all the way in. And we got C3, so it's flush here, all the way up. Moving into this side, step number 1 on page 15. Let's see, that one, there's a lot of exclamation points, so we gotta pay attention. Part number 75. They're all on board number 3. 75, we're gonna start with that. That's a spare. Now we gotta make 3 of those. So 1, 2, 3. 76. I'm gonna pull that whole thing out. And we need 3 pieces for each. One, two, 3. A little bit of a repetition here. 1, 2, 3. All right, next we need parts number 77, 2 of them per assembly. So this is large piece right here to the bottom, towards the bottom. 2 for each sub-assembly. 1, 2, 3. Careful not to break them. Part number 78, also bottom left. 1 of each. 1, 2, 3. And then part number 79. 79 would be top right corner here. 1, 2, 3. All right. So we're ready to do our assembly. I as before, I would put a little bit of wax. Right, got a little bit broken out here, so I would put a little bit of I want to say sanding on these little 76 pieces, because I do see there is a little tab or was the connection point. To hold these up. Alrighty, and of course a little bit of wax on these too. That will make it easier. You don't have to like really force them in. They're gonna go much smoother. All right, so we use the wax, and then there's gonna be more wax going in onto the circular surfaces. Once we sub-assemble those or assemble them. Wax it nice. Alrighty, I'm ready. So we start with one. There's a little hole at the top, so we got, and then there's a slot on the numbers 77, also like a little slot. So those need to match up. And then there's also two holes on 78 and 79. So these all have to match up with each other. These little 76 tabs, they're gonna go in with the longer piece towards you, towards the part 77 and 78, 79, into these little slots. So let's see how to, we'll start with the first one, try to assemble that one. 77, once again matching the little hole in the slot. These gonna go over. Almost all the way to the end, so there should be distance in between those two. Slot matching, so this slot right here with the hole, this should be kind of like pushing towards the outside. And then part number 78, matching holes. All right, nice and smooth. And then part number 79, same thing, matching hole. Just like this. And one more exclamation point, make sure these tabs are all the way in. They're all flush all around on both ends. And we need to do 3 more of these. Or 2 more of these, sorry. Once again, same process, 76s. They're waxed, so they should go in pretty easy. Then we do match the holes in the slot. Level these out. They should kind of a little bit, so if they're gonna twist in a little bit, kind of pull them out towards the outside, and that ring will lock on the tabs, or not lock, but sit on the tab. Matching the slot again. Slot in the hole. So this should even straighten it out a little bit. Oop. trouble here. First one was easier for some reason. I'm gonna use the helping tool to get that part on. Here we go. Third end. And third part, third piece. Give it a second try. Kind of need to straighten them out to be able to insert the part number 78. There we go. Yay. And then 79 at the end. That one's a little struggle more than the other ones. Once again, make sure all of them are in. All of them are sitting flush. All right, holes. I'm not forgetting about those. There you go. That one's a little easier than the previous one. And matching holes again. Here we go. Now we got 3 of these. Now we need to wax the outside. Let me get a nice piece out. All 3 around outside. Once again, I'd prefer to put a little bit more wax on it than not enough. Because if you don't have enough, you're gonna have a friction on there and it might not work or work very rough. Waxing it will ensure that it will reduce the friction as much as it can. All right, clean off that excess wax if you have any. All right, and we're done with the C4 on page number 15. Moving to page number 16. Put the C4 on the side. They're all the same, so they're identical. Now we need to assemble C5, also 3 of those. Alrighty, for that we need part number 80. 6 of them. They're on page or sheet number 4, top left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in pairs. Then we need from board number 3, we need 0s through 9, 1 for each. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, a little repetitive work, but it's all right. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, let's see, we need anything else? Not at the moment. All right, so we take the first one, we do 0, doesn't matter the start point, and then 1, 2 through 9. 2, 3, 4, 5. Room on my phone, memory. So anyway, we did the 2 of the subassembly C5. I started one kind of putting the numbers in, so I'm gonna have to repeat it. And you need to do it 3 times. So we add all these little numbers 1 through or 0 through 9. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So I guess it's a good thing that I heard a little vibrating noise. I didn't pay attention to it first, and I was like, wait a second. I turned on my airplane mode so nobody distracts me. And so decided to check if I'm still recording. Saw the message that I'm out of room. Cleaned up. Now I'm back into the assembly. So 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna go through with you guys one more time. Make sure you have it assembled correctly. So we go 1 through 9, or 0 through 9, sorry. Then we take the little sub-assembly, and with the opening, we're going towards the left side. So we just insert it in. It doesn't matter how you insert it. Make sure it goes all the way in. Gonna push it in, and then that you can go and push it all the way through. After you do that, then you add the second part number 80 and go all the way around, like easily pre-snapping the parts on all the way around. And once you get all of them, then you can go around and squeeze it, make sure it's all nice tight fit, right? So after that, these internal piece should go in and out. So flush here, sticks out here, the other way around. So it should go in and out both ways. So we push it out to the side, to the left or right. And then we need to make sure that it does rotate around. Both ways. So we stick out, so like if you look at the step number 5, it sticks out on the left, and then you can spin it around right or left, and you need to do it about at least 10 times all around, 360 degrees. just to make sure that you got rid of all the burrs, all the imperfections there. So back and forth, and then we find the 0 with that little dot and push it the other way around. So that's going to be locked and number 0. And you do it on all 3 of them. 0 with a dot, line it up, push it out to the right, locked. Same thing here. Find 0, push it out, 0, slot, out. 3 times. So just repeat it 3 times, you should be all good. Once again, I apologize that my video cut off, but I'm not gonna disassemble them. All right, so we go back to the C3 with the grill away from you. We do all these C5s with that sticking out to the right side. We put them into these little grooves. Let's see, just like this. 0, 0 on the top. Just line them up. Line up all the zeros. Nice and neat. All right, here's a little correction. I'm going back and I'm going to insert this video where it's supposed to be. So when we insert these C5s in here and you want a different combination, so if you want a 0 or if you want a 1, 2, 3, so that little dot, when you did, before you insert it, so here, let me take it apart. So when you insert it, that little dot right here, that's where you want that number be. So if you want it to be 3, so you rotate, put it on 3, and that little dot needs to match the 3. Then we need to find a dot on here. Rotate it to 2, insert it over 2, move it to the left. I already inserted this part, so I don't want to take it apart too much. And then when you wanted a 1, you do the same thing. You find a dot, move it out. Oop. And you put a 1. So it's 3, 2, 1 for me. That's little dot that is on there. It's supposed to be on 3, on 2, and on 1 when you put it into the assembly. So here you go. Once you insert it on there, that's going to be, so if you're going to leave it at 0, 0, 0, there's what's going to be, it's going to be 0, 0, 0. So I'm going to continue with the assembly and come back to the same point where I left off before I go into the endless loop of trying to fix of what the code's supposed to be. So once again, it's supposed to be the little dot matching the number that you want to be as the code. That's the first step of installation. All right, and then so this is 0, 0, 0, version 1, version 2, version 3. So they give you the options of your code. So we can do 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, whichever numbers you want. So you want to start with whatever the number you want. So like, let's say I'm gonna make it 3, 2, 1 in my case, just easy to remember. So we do 3, 2, 1, and I'm just gonna leave it on the side just like this. That's page number 17. 3, 2, 1, it's easy to remember. I need to show this into the showrooms and trade shows. So that's gonna be our code for this specific book. And then we need 2 parts number 92 and 91. They're both on page, on sheet number 4. and their top right corner, 92 and 91. All right, so we wax everywhere. This little circular piece within these little grooves here. We wax on the outside. Everywhere. Oh, the other side. That's me not paying attention all the way. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other part number 92, all around. And then within the grooves. So 91 and 92. 91 on top, 92 on the bottom, kind of put them together and move on to page number 18. We take our sub-assembly, and then with the 91 towards you, we put it into the holes all the way through. And then 91 towards you, and 92 up. Oh, kind of have to go one on top of the other. So 91 is gonna go into these grooves. One, two. All right, that means that we need to make sure that everything falls into the grooves. To be able to do that, you need to put one on top of the other. All right, let me pull them out just to practice a little bit. It's probably the toughest part so far that I've seen. So the grooves need to match. Let's see. All these grooves. Because if they don't, and the way they match, let me set it back up. At 1, 3, 2, 1. If they don't match, not sitting perfectly, doesn't look like it's very easily put together. I guess I could do that too. Let's see, we'll do one by one. 0. It's supposed to be this way. All of these supposed to be to the right. I do 3. 2, 1. I got the first one and the back. Oh, here we go. So they all snapped in. Looks like they were all sitting on there correctly. We move them all to the left. All right, so I'm gonna set it back in, set my combination down again. All of these have to be to the left, sitting on these two, so pretty much look like on step 5, and then as you can see, they're both vertical to each other. Alright, and then we lock them on the other side with port number 93, which is also on board number 4, right here at the top. I'm gonna turn it on this side and lock it in. So they don't go anywhere. Step number 4. Step number 9, page number 19, step number 5. Let's see, we need parts number 94, 95, so we have the grill over to the left side. 94 is right here, right at the middle. And with the little dot here on this side, that goes right at that edge. All right, so we got part number 94 here with the tab over towards you. The grill is away. That goes right here. And we put it in place. Set it in. Then we go part number 95. And it goes in the third slot right here on the other end with the little tab towards you. Nice and easy. Should get right into the grooves. And let's see. That's next one is step number 6 on page 19. We need 2 parts number 96. They're at top right corner here. So these ones a little long. Careful getting them out. And we need to wax them all around. So I'm gonna take a piece of wax. And just wax them on the long pieces to make sure it's easy to insert through the opening. one through this side. All the way into the last piece. I guess I knocked off the little ring that we had at the end. Need to make sure, put it back on. There you go, and then I'll do the second part. Same thing, just through the ring, hold the ring, make sure it doesn't fall down, all the way. Flush here. That's our step number 6, and then step number 7, we do the part number 97, also on board, top right corner, board number 4. And that one's with the lock and unlock facing towards you, goes right here at the top. All right, and we're done with the port number C6. All right, so we installed that 97 lock facing you, lock unlock, and then part number 98. It's on board number 4, top right at the center. That one goes on the side here just to lock all these little sub-assembly in. Once again, these are supposed to be flush, so it should sit nice and tight on the end. All right, so we're done with the C6. Moving on to page number 20. Page number 20, step 8. We need parts number 99, 2 of them. 99 bottom of the board number 4. And these ones, let's see, we're gonna have to go into the second hole. Put them a little bit to the side, kind of diagonally, enter them in, get them into the grooves, and then move it towards the grill. Just like this, so it sits over the little ring. Same thing on the other one, make sure these little diagonal ones are towards you. Same thing in the second slot, in. And then away from you, just to lock it into the, over the ring, or over the cylinder there. Just like it shows in the step number 2. And then parts number 101, board number 4, right in the middle above, right in the center above middle, with a little diagonal piece away from you. That's gonna go all the way at the end here, in these grooves. With the hole on the right hand side. Fit it together with the other side, and it should go all the way in. These 2 parts should sit together. Hole on the side, nice and clean. Then 2 parts 100. You're gonna go in the middle here with these little diagonal one towards you. And make sure that's all the way in and flush on both ends, on both sides. And the second one, exclamation points that the ring should be on the outside, that's on the first one, and then these diagonals on the left. And then the last step number 10 on this page. We pull this to the side a little bit towards you, and then part number 102, which is on board number 5 now. Bottom, center, with the ring facing that side. We get it into the little space here. Get them in the holes first. And then push it away from you towards the ring. Alrighty. I guess we suggested to wax it, but I was able to get it in without the wax, so it's nice, sits nice and flush in there. Moving on to the page 21, step number 3, which I already did, kind of push it away. And then we do parts number 103, which is on board number 4 at the top side here. They get inserted here to like these in place. Need to separate them a little bit. These numbers, the little dividers, I guess. Put those two in. I'm gonna use the helping tool just to get those in. Make sure they sit nice and tight in there. And that's a C7. We're gonna put it aside for now. Let's see. Next step is step number 1 on the bottom of the page here. We need parts number 104 and 105. They're on board number 4. 105, a little above the middle on the right hand side there, and 104 and about the same level to the left. So we do 105, push these through to lock them in place. So we got a little nice lock here. Then we need two 106. They're actually on board number 3. So we're back to board number 3, bottom right hand corner here. Two 106s. And these are gonna go on the left and right through these holes with the tabs longer pieces away from you, like this. Moving on to page number 22. And then come back to the grill side of the C7. Tabs close towards you, and then to go into these two little holes here with the center piece going right in the middle slot. Little tight spaces here on both sides. Slot, both of them are in, and we push them in to sit them all the way into the board. So this centerpiece moves a little bit in and out. Now we need to put a spiral spring, so we're turn it around. We have a spring, we squeeze that spring, and it needs to go right here. So right in between there's like a little tab that has to go against the flat surface and on the tab. So I'm gonna squeeze it towards, kind of put up my finger on the other side. Make sure it doesn't jump out on the other side, and push it in. Use the tool. And you can try it a few different times. My second time was unsuccessful. There you go. So it has to sit right here in the middle. So you kind of squeeze it against the surface, push it in as you're squeezing it, and get it over that tab. All right. And then let's see, we're done with page number 22. Moving on to the page number 23. We turn this upside down, and we take part number 107 from board number 5. And we put 107 over these tabs here. Make sure it sits nice and tight. Turn it another 90 degrees, and we take the book cover, and it has to go into these little 2 slots, these little tabs. So we need to make sure we put a little bit of a wax on these. And kind of push it in on one side. Need to separate this very nice and easy. Don't push too hard not to break these. To make sure it goes into the slots, and voila. It's in. Page 23 is done. And then let's see, page 24, step number 2. We need 2 parts number 108. One goes here, one goes on the other side. 108 are on board number 5, right at the center here at the top. 2 of these. That was easy. And the other side. Not as easy. Oh, I didn't insert it all the way in, so that's why. Excuse me. Goes one side and then the other. both sides, and the cover, make sure you can move both ways. All right, next we're moving on to the page number 25. Put that cover aside. Moving into the step number 1 on page number 25. We need part number 109 on board number 5. Also need 251s. They're on also on board number 5 right here, right at the center. Let me get all these 4 out. 1, 2. These go into the little holes here, whichever side you want, I guess. Both of them symmetrical. With a T and with the lag into the board. So 1 and 2. From the back. And then 110, that's on board number 6 to the right here. That's gonna go, this is starting with the 1, 2, it doesn't matter which side. So this is the longer one on the bottom. So that's the ones that it goes into, all the way in. Then step number 2, we need part number 111 on board number 4. Which is bottom right here, and then we slightly bend it and insert it into here, into these little grooves. 1, 2, 3. Let's see, gotta go here into these, just like this. Little bend, and then step number 3, part number 10. Once again, board number 6, bottom left here or top left, it doesn't matter, the one or the other. We're using all of them. So that one will lock these in place. That edge. Just like this. Next step on the other side, we do part number 112. That's board number 5, top left, top right. Also need 2 parts 51 on these one from the inside. These go into these little 2 holes. And let's see, longer pieces on the bottom. Yeah, all right, looks good. That goes right on these. Same thing, bend it a little bit, not too much, and then we lock it up. Lock it up with 2 number 110s there at the top right here. So similar way at the top. And on the bottom. these ones should be on the bottom. Let's see, these two little pieces, 51, I'm gonna snap them in place, just make sure they're all the way in. All right, we're done with page number 25. Moving on to the page number 26. Part number 113. They're right here, right on the top right. We have two of them. So we enter on one side and the other side. Just to join these two together. Careful not to split this board. Should go pretty easy in. If not, put a little bit of the wax on here and these little tabs, and you should be good to go. Now let's see, step number 9. We got two parts, number 114. They're on board number 1. Bottom right. Let's see, so the longer pieces are towards the bottom, this slot towards the left. So the top portion, the large slot on these part number 114 goes towards the top, and we insert them over these little tabs that we did. 51, tab 51, just like this. And then on the other side, same thing, with the round off piece towards, obviously towards the end there, towards the corner. Alrighty, then let's see. Both of them are the same. Moving on to the 27, take our cover, we turn it upside down, so this opening is on your left and away from you. We take our part C with the insides towards you. This side's gonna go through this hole. And let's see, we need to snap it, these little tabs, snap it into here, both sides. This goes into the hole, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to pull those out a little bit. So we need to split it a little bit to get these in. On one side. On the other side. Using my body here a little bit to get these in also. And book is done, almost. Not closing though. All right, the key is supposed to be on the lock, and we need to open. Oh, that makes sense to have it in the open position. And let's see, and then we take it out. We got a 43 plus on board number 4. That's an extra key, bottom right. That goes right over this little tab. Insert it here, and we close the book. That's our D. Page 27 is done. Page number 28. Now it's mostly decorations. We're gonna put that aside. So we have board number 6, part number 115, right at the top here. We do a bunch of number 51s. Let's see, so UGears facing towards you. We need a bunch of 51s on different locations, and they're going upside down T. Right, so 51s, they're all on board number 5. There's like a huge cluster of them here. Pull them out towards yourself. Kind of play it around a little bit. And let's see, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, they go 1, go 2, 2 holes on the left. Let's see, right in the center here. And 2 on the right hand side. You can use your fingers or you can use the helping tool. It's got like a little groove here for you to take it, put it in here and insert it all the way in. Then we take part number 116. That's on the board number 5, bottom left here. We pull all these gears out. Once again, careful. The 51s. All right, and that goes right over onto these 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now gears. We do 120. Wait, we're in step number 3. So we need, let's see, 51 into all the other holes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. So we need 11 51s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Tab on the back of the helping tool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. After we do that, our next step is 119. It goes right here in the larger spot. $120 is right next to it, right below. $118 118, 118, 118, son. Bottom right of the board number 5. Goes right into this circle here. 119 we did, 117. And 117 is right here on that little piece. That goes right here into this one in the middle. Then we do 120. Bottom left here on this little, goes into this little groove. And the second one here. Then 121 goes on the bottom. And 122 on the board center right. On board number 5 goes right here. All right, then we got E1. Then we take our book, turn it upside down, and our board number 5 with UGears at the bottom, where the flat portion is at. It goes right into these little grooves that are there. Snap it in. And it's done at 1E2. Moving on to the page number 30, we take that lock and we insert the lock into the opening here. All the way. And then as all right, so we are on page number 30. We have a key inside. Now we set up the combination 3, 2, 1 that was supposed to be on there, and then we press this portion. The key should pop out in here. So that's what it is. If you put any other combination, you won't be able to split it up or to pop it out. So 3, 2, 1. That's the one that I set up. It's all nice and gorgeous. Moving on to the page number 31. We need board number 6, and we need the part number 123. So part 123 is to the left. It says do not enter code. Do not enter code. It says enter code, not do not enter code. Anyway, so let's see. So this is on regular serve. That's where the key pops out, and enter code supposed to be facing that direction. So we're just gonna enter it or get it on a book all around. Careful, because this is cut wood, so you want to stretch it slightly but not too much to insert it. So this way, and that's all the steps one by one. Moving on to the page number 32, part number 124 is also on board number 6. That's the one that's right next to it. So we pull that one out, and that one's on the other side, also with the little arrows this way. So just to make sure, we enter it, we get it from this side first, start here, wrap it slightly around, stretch it a bit. There's like you can see a little key here, and then stretch it out and put it on the other edge. We're done. Page number 32. Page number 33, part number 125. It's going to be from the back, from this side. And and the part number 125, bottom left corner. Here, let's see, we put it under these little tabs. So you need to kind of like insert it there slightly, just like this, stretch it around and lock it in place. Turn it around, and part number 126, that was right next to it. Same scenario, so we just turn it with a flat surface towards these little tabs, slide it underneath it, and move it over and lock it in place here. So now we have completed the assembly all together. And let's see, to open the book, which is open right now, but we're just gonna follow the instructions. We go set up the code that we did, 3, 2, 1. We push it from this side to pop the key out. So we get the key out, pull out, and then we unlock the book. It is in unlock position. To lock it, we do close, and we rotate it clockwise until it's locked. Pull out the key. I'm assuming insert it here and lock it up. Change the code. So now you cannot open the book. Let's see, close the book, code replacement process, and that's about it. So in order for us to open the book, so it's closed right now, let's see, so we need to set up the code that we did, 3, 2, 1, press it from this side, from the right, for the key to pop out. We get the key out, put the book in, twist it, turn it counterclockwise until we get the book here, and then we can turn this side until it's open. Now we can open our nice little storage compartment or little storage piece. And let's see, so to lock it back up, we close here until it's closed, turn the key until it switches over to the key side, pull the key out and insert it into the hole, and move the combination to whichever liking you have. I'm not sure if we want to try. I think this is the end of the assembly. Just wanted to say that if you need any replacement parts, do not hesitate to contact info@ugears.us. You can also send email to customer service at UGearsModels.com. That's the manufacturer. They will have more parts available. They can probably ship it out a little faster, but the normal delivery takes a little bit longer than from us. If you purchase directly from our website, we can do the replacement, or from any of the stores that we distribute to. Once again, this was Dimitri. Any questions, send email at info@ugears.us. We also have a website, Ukidz Toys. That's UKIDZTOYS which is ukidstoys.com, UKIDZTOYS.com. Also info@ukidstoys.com would be answering some questions there. Both of those are legit websites. Both of those are ours. Ukidz Toys has a little bit more product on there and different brands in addition to UGears. Once again, this was the completion of the book, and see you next time.